Hello, welcome to Easy English at Home YouTube channel. Today, I'm gonna teach you how to talk about past situations. You're gonna make sentences with was and were. Was and were, both are the past forms of be. Okay? Remember, be also changes form in present. It becomes am, is, or are. But today we're focusing on past situations, so keep in mind was and were. Okay, now think about your day yesterday. I've got a couple of questions for you. How was your day yesterday? My day was tiring. It was long and tiring. What about yours? Was it long? Where were you? I was at work. I was at work. What about you? Where were you? Were you busy? Is my next question. I was very busy. Yes. Yes, I was. I was a substitute teacher. I was a substitute teacher. Because one of my friends was ill, couldn't come to work. Okay, so when you look at the sentences here, with was and were, look, we said it was how? It was long and tiring. So after was, you can continue the sentence with an adjective. Long and tiring is another adjective here, okay? Look at the second one. Where were you? I was at work. At work. Where? At work. So I talked about a place. So here we have a prepositional phrase. You can talk about where you are. I was at work. I was at school. I was at home. Yes? You can say I was in Izmir. I was in Istanbul. That's another prepositional phrase. Now, the last one, look, were you busy? Yes, I was. I was a substitute teacher. A substitute teacher. So there is a noun here, right? Teacher. So after was and were, you can continue the sentence with a noun. Or what? An adjective plus a noun is also another possibility. I was busy with exam papers. My colleagues were in the office too. It was crowded. I was stressed. So these are some other examples with was and were. Let's fill in this chart and form a formula for was and were. If you want to form a positive or a negative sentence, how do you start? You start with the subject. So let's divide it into two groups. We have singular ones, I, he, she, it. The singular ones go with was all the time, okay? Plural ones, they, we, or you, go with were. And what's next? Either an adjective, like I was, what? Busy. Or a prepositional phrase, he was at home. Or we can continue with a noun, like they were, what? Waiters in the past. Okay, now they have a different job. Right, so this is how you form a positive sentence. What about a negative one? How do you form a negative sentence? Was not becomes, in short, wasn't. Were not. Weren't. Right, what about a question? You want to ask a question, okay? Busy, you want to ask your friend. Busy, so you say, were you busy? Were you busy? Your friend says, yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Now, you want to ask a question with one of these subjects, so you say, was she at school? Was she at school? Yes, she was. No, she wasn't. Okay, so when you want to ask a question, you start with either were or was. Remember that. Let's have further practice. I've written down 5 names of famous people. Think about their lives today and in the past. For example, Sting. Look at the picture. Sting is a singer, a musician, right? But in the past, many years ago, what was his job? Huh? He was, do you know what it was? He was a English teacher. He was an English teacher. English teacher. Okay, so he was an English teacher. What about James Blunt? He is a musician too, right? He is a musician. But in the past, he was a soldier. A soldier. Did you know that? Another one, we have Morgan Freeman. He is an actor, right? He is an actor, a famous one. Now, in the past, he was a mechanic. A mechanic. Okay. What about Danny DeVito? He is an actor too. He is an actor. But in the past, he was a hairdresser. A hairdresser. Tina Turner? What about her? She is a great singer, right? She is a singer. In the past, she was a nurse. A nurse, right? So, when you're talking about their past jobs, how did we form the sentences with was or were, right? So we said he was an English teacher. James Blunt, again, he was a soldier. He was a mechanic. He was a hairdresser and she was a nurse. Let's have a closer look at how to pronounce was and were. Think about Tina Turner. Was she a nurse? Yeah, was she a nurse? Yes, she was. So here, when you're asking a yes-no question, you pronounce this as was. Was she? And the answer, a short answer, yes, she was, because you're stressing it, yeah? And if you're just making a positive sentence, then you say, she was a nurse. In the USA, she was. So here we have the sound. She was a nurse. Another one, think about those famous people again. Were they celebrities in the past? No, they weren't. Were they? The sound. Were they? No, they weren't. Is the negative form, weren't. Okay, when you want to form a positive sentence again with were, it's the weak form, so we say were. They were ordinary people. They were ordinary people. So keep that in mind. The sound, the weak form, or you could say sound was. Here we have were and here we have weren't. Let's have a look at today's keywords and phrases. We use was and were to talk about past situations. Was and were are the past forms of be. When you want to form sentences with the singular ones, I, he, she and it, you use was or wasn't. When you want to form sentences with plural ones, we, you, they, you continue with were or weren't. I was busy. He was at work. They were at home. You were a substitute teacher. Thank you for watching. You can find the practice files for this lesson on the link in description. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye!